Hi everybody, Jillian here. Welcome back. Today I have something different that I want to share with you. I'm going to be creating a prayer journal. So I have this traveler's notebook insert. I picked it up from Michael's and I covered it with a piece of scrapbook pattern paper. This is from Paige Evans' collection called Fancy Free with Pink Paisley. The notebooks come like this. I picked these up at Michael's in their boho section. As of last week, they were 70% off. So in this pack is 3 books, and each one is 50 cents. This whole thing was $1.50. So I stocked up and bought like 3 packs because I love making little notebooks and journals out of these things. They also had a package of 3 craft notebooks. I think I've showed this to you guys before. I made this notebook. This is what the craft looks like. Just swipe some paint on there, stamped, and put down these Amy Tangerine transparent stickers. This is what I use for sermon notes on Sundays. So I'm going to be doing something similar, but this one is covered in a piece of pattern paper that I really like. What inspired me to do this was this stamp set from Citrus Twist. I think it's called Prayer Box, and the script was done by Jesse Christopher. And I thought it would be really cool to document some prayers in here using these stamps as prompts, and I wanted to share that process with you guys today. I really miss using my acrylic paints and swiping paint around, so that's what I'm going to be doing in here, and then using these things to prompt me. So I'm going to show you guys how I do this. What I want to do here is create the very first or second page in here are things that I need to be praying for every single day, every single time I go to the Lord in prayer. These could be things like my family, my church, our world around us, things like that. Any unsaved family members that I have or friends that I have, I want to be praying for them every single day, and I want to write them here so that I can make sure that I don't forget them. And then as I work through the rest of this book, I might just write in my prayer for that day. If any new prayer requests arise, I'm just going to kind of like art journal it in here so that I'm spending more time in prayer, and then I can, look back at this, maybe 6 months from now, 2 years from now, and kind of see where I was. I did something similar in a Rifle Paper Company book, and I was really nervous about painting and didn't want to mess it up. So this one is totally handmade, and that way I won't have that fear of messing it up. Also, I wanted to mention I pulled all of my paint colors from the pattern paper here. So throughout this entire book, I want it to look pretty cohesive, and so I'm going to jot these paints down or even keep them aside, and then always use only these paints when I'm creating in this book. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is take my Bible mat and put it under the first page that I'm going to work on. This is just in case I go over the edge. And I'm going to take a few shades of blue here, and I'm going to start with these 2 turquoise colors and put them on the edge of this old gift card. And then I'm just simply going to scrape the paint onto the page, and then I'm going to go over it with some mint. I have to remember that I don't love this color because it turns like this weird shade of green. But once I have that down, I'm going to go in with this chartreuse color, and I'm going to create just a few dots here and there in 3 places, I think. And then this is going to be my title page for the prayer journal. Because it's such a thin layer of paint, it dries pretty quickly. I thought about using the one that says, "Hey Lord, it's me," but I want to use that one when I'm actually writing a prayer down. So I decided to go with the one that says, "Pray, believe, repeat." And I just dirtied it on my hand because it's a brand new stamp and I haven't used it yet. So some of the oils on my skin will help prep it. And then I'm using my Stays On Jet Black ink to stamp it down. It's a really good quality stamp. I didn't have any problems with it. It created a nice clean image. Then I'm taking the Illustrated Faith journaling pen and then just writing my prayer journal, and then I'm using my roller date stamp to note the dates. And then when I fill this book up, I'm going to go back and stamp the end date so that I have an idea of like what range this was. So the next thing I'm going to do is start on the second page. And I'm pulling my colors here. I want to use pinks and oranges and peaches. And I'm going to mix them for the exact shade that I'm looking for in this little paint palette. And I was referring to the back of the journal here to see exactly what the color looked like. So I'm just going to mix a few and then keep referring to the piece of pattern paper there. Say that 5 times fast, just so I can make sure that I get the color that I want. I'm mixing the paint with the end of a paintbrush. I am by no means a professional artist. I just use what tools I have available to me, and a lot of times it's kind of weird what I do. If you guys see me do something crazy and you think of a better way for me to do it, please leave a suggestion in the comments below. I love hearing those. You guys are so smart. So what I'm going to do is swipe the paint across the page, and I'm using my Bible mat here again just to make sure I don't get any where it's not wanted. And I'm going to go in the top left corner and the bottom right corner. So I'm going with the darkest color first, this fuchsia color that I watered down a little bit with the flesh color. And then I'm taking this peach color, which is, again, 2 shades, and then I'm going to go over that. So I've learned that when I do this technique, I like to put the darker color down first, and then the medium tone, and then the lighter shade on top. Once I'm content with that, I am just seeing what the damage here is on the reverse, and it's not too bad. And as I'm creating this prayer journal, I'm looking at the stamps and realizing I don't want to dive right in with, what I'm praying for, my prayer requests. So I see this stamp that says praise forever, and I realize that's how I want to start this prayer journal. I go ahead and stamp that. I forgot to kind of rub it on my skin, so I didn't get a clean image when I stamped it, but that's totally because I didn't prep the surface first. Then I'm going to take these little dots there from the Sunshine Stamp Co. I will list their link in the description below, and I'm going to stamp that around in a few places on the page just to provide a little interest. The next thing I'm going to do is take my journaling pen, and I'm just going to draw a few sections of lines on the page. I really like seeing blank lines. That is so inviting to me. To just fill them up. And then I'm just going to use this later as a place to write different praises to God for who He is. And then the first one I do is a Bible verse from Job. So that's going to do it for the second page. So then I thought about the order in which I pray. So first I praise God for who He is. Then I give thanks for things that He's done for me or given to me. And so I'm figuring out what colors I want to use here on the third page. So I pulled out this assortment. I'm going to put a little teeny tiny dot of paint on the card, and then just dab little dots up and down either side of the page here. And then I'm going to go in with 4 or 5 colors. The next is the chartreuse, and I'm just going to fill in the spaces, and there's really not much thought to it. Once I'm painting, it takes a little longer to dry because it's blobs of paint, but I'm going to go over it with this stamp that says grateful for, and I put it down in the top left corner. I think that's what I'm going to do with these stamps. I also forgot to prep it, so it didn't stamp as crisply as I would have liked. Fortunately, it's a clear stamp, and I was able to go back over it, and it didn't look like I messed up. Unfortunately, my camera ran out of memory, and I didn't realize it, so I missed showing you the last 2 pages. So what I did was just stamped some more polka dots on this page here and then drew my lines. And then the last page, I took 4 colors that I liked and then just swiped it in stripes on the top left and bottom right of the page. And that's where I stamped the phrase, "Hey Lord, it's me." And that's where I'm going to start to write my prayer requests. Now here I went back to the praise section, and I'm in Job 38. If you guys ever want to get an idea of how big and how amazing and how wonderful God is, Job 38 and 39 is great for that. And so I decided to go ahead and journal Job chapter 38, verse 35. The lightning bolts report to you. They say, "Here we are." And then I'm just writing the verse underneath there. And I'm sure I'm going to have way more that will fill up the entire section here, not just the part with lines, but that's a pretty good start for now. So that's it. Here's a quick look at the journal, and look at all of those empty pages that I have in the back to fill up. I can't wait. Periodically give you guys updates of what the rest of the pages look like on Instagram. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday for a new process video.